Welcome to the DevReady Podcast. Joining me on the DevReady Podcast today, we have Deb Szabo. I haven't met Deb before, so as every episode, we're going through this for the first time. Deb, I'll let you take it away and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm pleased to be here. I'm Deb Szabo, as you mentioned, and I run a business called Content Catalyst. And I actually am a marketing strategist, and I set up Content Catalyst as a business a couple of years ago to essentially help businesses leverage video in their marketing. I found it to be an incredibly helpful tool, and I was working in the wine industry at the time, and still do. And my goal was to help other wineries, direct-to-consumer wineries, help leverage videos. But what I found through my business groups, there was actually a whole lot of other audience of people, service-based businesses, online coaches, people selling digital products that actually wanted the help as well. So that's how Content Catalyst was born. And originally, I created a digital product to help people get ready to be able to leverage and use video on social media. But there was so much more to using video and strategic marketing than just that. So last April, I launched Content Catalyst membership, and that was essentially a community, a marketing hub to be able to support business owners and their team to be able to leverage strategic content marketing. And then out of that has evolved again a product called Blueprint, which is essentially the AI brain for your content marketing, essentially, because now AI has been an absolute game changer in the world of business, and not a lot of people are leveraging it to their potential. They get onto ChatGPT, and a lot of people think that AI is writing a prompt into ChatGPT, and they get pretty average answers, and they're not setting up and leveraging it to their best ability. So now, for me, it's all about how can a business leverage video and AI as a tool in their marketing toolbox, basically.
And it's very important to use it the right way, especially because there's so much fluff out there, and then there's like the ultimate one prompt to do everything for you, which never works.
No.
So learning how to use the tools correctly to get the value will take you to another level, as opposed to write me a blog post and that's all you're writing
100%.
in ChatGPT.
And I guess because of my tech mind, that's how I got into learning everything about video, because I go down a deep rabbit hole and consume and learn everything about it. And I've done the same with AI. So for me now, I love engineering prompts and creating AI assistants for specific tasks. So it just is an incredible tool that you can come in, answer 2 questions, click of a button, and I can create 1 month's worth of a full content marketing plan.
It's a huge time saver. Now you just have to review it and put your expertise on top.
Yeah.
So what set you on the path to create Catalyst?
Again, it was the need of... Again, it was the witnessing businesses struggle with the same thing over and over again. And I just did a presentation the other day about a lot of businesses are still using 2015 marketing tactics. And that looks like back in 2015, Instagram didn't even, you could put a 15-second video up. There was no TikTok. No one was really leveraging like YouTube like what we can. LinkedIn didn't have video. And so what we were doing, we'd go into Canva, create an image and a tile and go and post it. And that's how a lot of people marketed their business. Now we have all of these incredible platforms, but they aren't just social media, they're search platforms as well. And I saw people not leveraging those tools. And I was like, I'm doing it over here. And people were actually coming to me going, how do I do that? So that's how it evolved, is just seeing that people needed that help. And I just know how to do it.
It's very early on to jump onto the videos. So we started marketing a real proper marketing push in 2017, I think it was.
Yeah, right.
So that's 9 years into our business. It took me that long to then realize, all right, we have to start making content consistently, because before that we weren't really sure what to do. And I also didn't like making videos because I didn't like the sound of my own voice.
Most people don't.
And now there's 230 podcasts of my voice droning out people's ears.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that is the common reoccurrence that I hear all the time, and that is people hate hearing the sound of their voice and they hate seeing themselves on camera. And I deal with that every day. I understand the pain of that. So I guess my understanding of that helps other people be able to have the confidence to show up on camera as well, because there are things that we can use to help us show up on camera and remove those barriers. And I've also learned there's about 4 different personality styles when it comes to turning up on camera of your personality, of whether you are, give it a go, Gary, or, wing it, Wendy, or Penelope perfectionist, which is what I am. And when you're the perfectionist, it's like, you will record over and over again a take, or you've got all these drafts in your phone of videos that you've never posted because we overthink things. And so understanding those different personality types has given me insights of then going, okay, if you are this style of person, here is how I would approach the content for you. So content to me isn't just a social media post on Facebook or Instagram. Content is literally everything that we put out there for our business, including what we put on our website copy. And with AI these days, it really comes down to the search engine optimization with the algorithms now, and keywords are everything.
Yep. And there's going to be, I think, a whole new world of search engine optimization for AI, which is how do you then tailor it to get the AI to understand everything? Because it's going to be a bit different than what Google's doing, especially if you're trying to get results back as sources in ChatGPT, for example. But going back to sort of that marketing space, knowing that there's different sorts of people and how they approach their work will be very helpful in working with clients. So from my experience, when we first started with it, all right, let's script everything. So I'd spend an hour writing a script for a 1-minute video. I'd spend half an hour filming a 1-minute video multiple times because I couldn't get the script right. And I'd spend 2-3 hours doing a 1-minute video.
I get it.
And now I prefer to work better when I don't know what I'm doing and I'm talking off the top of my head, because I'm talking about areas or industries that I understand. So I have knowledge and I can just talk about it. So all the videos you've seen, if you see anything from me on LinkedIn or anything, they're all one take.
Yeah.
Everything's one take. It's just flowing. I may have a bullet point that before, and then it's just whatever comes out. The fire hose is open.
I love it. And I feel like there's a couple of things with that as well. Like the couple of things that I always hear repetitively from businesses over, and I don't like how I look and sound on camera, and then I don't know what to say, and then I don't have time. So they're the 3 critical things. Yep. But so when it comes to I don't have time, we have to have systems in place that helps remove those roadblocks for us. Everyone doesn't have time these days, but how I have learnt to incorporate content making, it's part of my everyday thing. So I'll do it while I'm out on a walk, and I'll, go live. Going live is a great tool because it means that I don't actually have to edit anything afterwards, and it is very ad lib, but I still have a structure, and I'll always, if you, and like your personality style is I just wing it. Knowing your hook, your intro, is the most important part of creating content, because we have such a short attention spans these days. And if you can tell people what your content is essentially about, you can wing the rest. You can have your bullet points on the thing, but you've got to just get to the point and not like fluff around too much. And if you can, and that comes with any content. For me, if you also don't have time, I always think about long form content as well. And long form content has been my focus this year with YouTube, because I can, like you just said then, you can spend 3 hours making a 1-minute video, where in 3 hours I can research and record a highly optimized searchable video for YouTube, video podcast that goes on YouTube. And then I can take that one video with the help of AI. I can then take that one video and repurpose that into 15 plus pieces of content marketing across 7 different platforms. So that's omnipresence. And I experienced something really similar the last month. I was doing like a short form video challenge in a group, and I was, I like to do things, good. So I was doing the Sunday afternoon. I was like, okay, write up my script. I'm going to do all these scene takes, and I'm going to follow all the protocols. So I spent literally the day editing it and filming it and scripting it and planning it. And I'm sitting there going, I've got a 30-second reel to show for that. And in that amount of time, I could have recorded, like I said, that whole video and repurposed it across all the platforms. So that has been my sort of awareness of going, work in what works for your workflow and what you also work well with, because you can still have that presence online by showing up less. And this is the beautiful thing why I'm loving YouTube at the moment. I was looking at my stats last night, is because YouTube, I recorded a video 4 months ago and it's still getting like thousands of views at the moment. So it still does the heavy lifting for you long after you have done it. And that's
different to the normal social media networks where it's
a search engine.
Unless it comes up on as someone's looking in the feed, then it disappears.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of those work that way.
Yeah.
YouTube just keeps going. You'll get views from 7-year-old videos.
Yes.
Everything can get surfaced, everything can get found. I think YouTube is the second most used search engine in the world.
Yeah. And the reason why I also encourage people to consider YouTube as their strategic first video is, one, you can make short clips out of it to put on short form videos. But the other thing about it is that you can use it in so many other more parts of your business. So for example, video, I would embed a video into my email marketing, like that goes out to clients on my mailing list. I embed videos on my website with landing pages so I can use it as a content funnel to build my email list. And all of those videos are embedded onto YouTube, and I can still get the views over there, but also have videos that help serve people as well. So I would definitely recommend that as a strategy for people that want to educate. And I think of it more of a digital business card these days. And I was out somewhere the other day and somebody said, I'm struggling with this. And I'm like, I've got a video just for that right there. And I went to YouTube, got the link and sent it to her. And she's like, oh my God, that's amazing. So it's like, it's a toolbox for me now to be able to hand people a really helpful resource.
It's a quick way to provide value to someone. You've already put in the effort, and you can just continue providing value long after you created it. I think a lot of the struggle people have is whether if they don't like themselves, they don't think they have the time.
Yeah.
It's trying to build it into your day or building it into what you do as part of your work. Because then you're not making time to make the video. You're just recording what you do.
That's right.
If you can get it to that point, that's the best way to do it, because then you'll get fresh content all the time.
Yeah. And the other thing I will say as well, and this is why I talk about researching your topic and having a strategic plan, and that's part of what I do when I created the blueprint, was literally knowing aligning your business goals with your content marketing goals. And once you do that, I can plan out a year's worth of content with a click of a button. And that is aligned with your business.
That's amazing.
And then I can go a step further. So I love building AI assistants now. It's like one of my most favorite things is engineering these prompts. And like that prompt that I was telling you about, the content marketing planner, it took me about a month of playing and writing it and designing it just to get it how I wanted the format to come out with. But now I can go in and go, okay, it's May. Well, I would have done this a couple of weeks ago to plan everything, but I can answer the month is May. The hero topic I'm talking about is personal branding, and I've got a webinar on the 29th. And then I can answer those 3 questions, and it will give me a full content marketing strategy, including my long form videos, my blogs, my posts, my lives, my stories, the shot roll, B-roll list, everything with a click of a button. So I encourage anyone, if they haven't set up AI assistants to automate tasks, it's a game changer.
You need to be using these tools. Everyone else is. So if you're not, you're falling behind.
And you'll see a lot of those custom prompts on, it comes up on your social media, like, use this prompt for this. It's just how to ask a question. But when you actually get into designing like an AI assistant for a specific task, it's a game changer for businesses, isn't it?
I think you don't even need the complicated prompts either.
No.
I get very good results just with very short, specific things.
Absolutely.
Once you know how to talk to it, same way our people knew how to Google and put in the right keywords to get the result. It's a similar thing. You don't need 1,000 words.
No.
To tell it what to do. It's very specific, very concise, does better.
Yeah.
I find.
Google's just released a playbook, a white paper on how to engineer prompts and how to ask like questions. And I encourage anyone that wants to, learn a bit more about it to go and have a read of that prompt, or they could actually go over to their AI and get it to summarize it for you. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't need to read it. I can just get my assistant to summarize it and give me the cliff notes, of how to do things these days. And it's a game changer because then I can tell my AI assistant to use that formula when you're giving me answers. And yeah, to me, that they're things. I'm loving Perplexity AI at the moment. I
still
don't know.
haven't used it after 2 years.
Oh my gosh. So do you ever use anything besides like ChatGPT as far as
Claude, ChatGPT. I do a lot of coding and like data processing with the tools.
Yeah.
And then occasionally here's a topic outline and work on a blog post, things like that.
Okay, so I'm loving Claude 3.7 on it. I just think that is just, it's such a game changer. And this is probably why I like Perplexity, is because I know everyone loves using ChatGPT and it's amazing. I love it. But what I love about Perplexity is that I can choose from like 7 different AI assistants depending on the task. So if I want to do that, I can go over to Claude and now it'll just automatically select, but I can still nominate to use DeepSeek or Claude or Chat or for whatever task I'm doing. And I'm like, it's just, it's just a game changer for me. I love it. And now like the phone voice activator, I can literally, and I did this last weekend, I was like, I'm looking at going down the South Coast. Can you recommend some places? And it's like, so it recommended the places. And then it's like, oh yeah, that sounds good. That place there. Okay, cool. Would you like me to book you a table? And I'm like, yes, please.
And it can get to that level through Perplexity?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know the bookings were available yet.
It brings it up in Open Table if they've got an open table.
Yes, it brings up the websites, then you can do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then cool. It's so cool. So they're about to release Comet, which will be that agentic agent as well. So I think they're just rolling out the next layer of the pre-release of that. So
it's amazing how far it's come from, was it November 2022? When ChatGPT was launched as just an experimental preview and it took over the world. And now it's just every week there's the newest, best, fastest model.
I know.
So it's very hard to keep up for people. So how have you found in your business trying to stay on top of all this AI changes? Because you've got your marketing focus, but you're very heavily leveraging AI to make that work. So how are you keeping up with everything?
I probably consume a lot of content, and I've got people that I specifically follow for those latest updates. I think that as a marketer, I've been doing this for quite a few decades, and one of the things, like, the foundations don't change of the marketing fundamentals, but what has changed are the tools and the tech to be able to do it. And if I don't stay up to date with those changes, then I'll get left behind as a marketer. So one of my things, and I guess it's just my love of learning as well, is I geek out on those kind of things. It's like, and I'll
sound like me.
Yeah. It's like, so I'm like, oh, that's a cool tool, and I can get lost, for days down a rabbit hole learning something and really understanding it. And I feel like just having certain people that you follow that are up to date on it and subscribing to those tech platforms or newsletters that are cutting edge stuff, I feel like has been a game changer for me. And I'm still so far behind in everything. That's the reality. Like, everyone else goes, oh, you know so much, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm so far behind everyone else. Like, that's the reality. And for me, because of who my clients are, I just want to make it really approachable and not overwhelming. Like, I was presenting the other day, and it's like, how many people in the room use AI? And they're like, yep, I use ChatGPT, and the other half are like, I'm still really scared of it. I'm really overwhelmed by it still. And so that's my goal, is to just bring them up into that stage of how they can use it every day, as opposed to, like you said, you're at the advanced stage where you're coding it and you're building things and you're doing all that. And I just want to be able to have it as a practical tool for people to use every day, so they don't have to be the tech guru,
Yeah, I think that's what we found with businesses that we've spoken to. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
They don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And then they don't know what it's capable of.
That's
And
right.
that capability is changing. So it's hard to be on top of. No one is on top of this anywhere.
No.
Even the people on YouTube that have the 400,000 followers who are making daily or weekly AI
Yeah.
update videos,
Yeah.
they're just trying to keep up with the news as well.
100%.
There's no one that knows all of it. It's changing too fast. There's too much
Exactly.
going on to try and even cover it all.
It is head spinning, and the same, and this is why for me AI and video are closely aligned as a marketing tool, because all the video stuff these days and programs and platforms are all entwined with AI. And like for CapCut, for example, like the amount of things that CapCut can do, and I love, because I teach CapCut inside Content Catalyst once a month. We do an editing session because it's such a user-friendly program for the everyday
so easy
person.
To edit videos on there.
So I was using Premiere Pro, right? But
Yeah.
I can't teach that to the everyday person and their VAs. So I started to use CapCut for my everyday editing so I could stay up to date on everything. And I'm loving it. Can I just say, like, I just love how, and they've put in so many editing things in the background now, and it just keeps getting better and better. So for me, as far as like, AI isn't just ChatGPT. It's in Canva these days. Like it's in CapCut. It's in everything.
Yeah.
And to go back to, you can spend a lot of money testing out all of these like programs that are getting released. And I test them out. And then I'll always come back and recommend that to my audience so they don't have to spend hundreds of dollars testing out all these subscriptions and time doing that. And I'll always just come back to the basics. I use Perplexity AI because I love the flexibility of using all the AI models. I still use chat, don't get me wrong, but I use CapCut, I use Perplexity, I use Canva, and I mean, they're my go-tos. I use StreamYard for recording my content because I like to go live. But apart from that, I keep it fairly simple. I'm always experimenting, like I'm playing around with Leonardo AI at the moment, and I'm loving that. But again, every time you turn around, ChatGPT's just released something.
It's a better image model. Like it just changes so fast. So you've got, there's the core foundational things that don't change, and they are AI, even though they don't have the chat or the large language model.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting that term confused with, AI is just chat.
Yes.
But AI has been around for 50 years. That
Yes.
term. It's people trying to build neural networks to replicate how the brain operates.
Yeah.
And they've been attempting this for 50 years, and we've been at the cusp of an AI revolution. It's always 2 or 3 years away, every 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly right. It's been around for such a long time. And that's my my goal at the moment, is just to help the everyday business owner leverage it to the point that it doesn't sound like ChatGPT's written their blog, or, it's like I've seen some really average website descriptions about things. And it's like, how can I show you how to use it better? So that's the reason why I'm a massive fan of using that long form hero piece of content as a video podcast, because we're much more likely to have natural conversation and express our expertise naturally. And then when I do that, I then take that transcription, and again, I do all this in CapCut. I don't need to go out and do anything else. I can literally edit my video in CapCut, extract the MP3 for my podcast, extract the transcription, get my show notes that are optimized with keywords for like searchability online. But then I can get it to write a blog. Now I know that I can get chat to write a blog, but there's blogs and there's blogs. So my blog is literally rewording what I've said out of my mouth, but in a written format that has header tags and the hierarchy, so it's optimized for SEO. And so to me, that's how we leverage AI better, or LLMs better, because we can get the more authentic conversation happening. It's just shortcutting that workflow. Like I have a business bestie, which most of us have in our AI, in our chats or Perplexity or whatever. And it's like, I didn't have any specific instructions too much in it. And then I found somebody who'd had a custom prompt, and I took the bits that I liked out of it and modified it to mine. And then it just game changed the responses that I was getting at. Like it became conversational to me, and it met me at my level. And I feel like that's what a lot of people miss, and that's why they get average answers, right?
And that's how to use it well and how to use it properly. And because you've spent the time to play.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like I mentioned, they don't know where to start, so they don't even start playing with it. Once you start playing with it, you understand its capabilities.
Yeah.
The way my brain works, once I understand something, I can then have more ideas that spawn from there.
That's
but
right.
you can't get that just by listening or watching someone else. Even watching, you have to then go and play with it and see how your variation of whatever they're showing works, because it's going to be different because you're asking it different things, or you're trying to get it to match your tone or your voice. And all of that's
Absolutely.
possible. You just need to jump in and start playing with it. And then if you're getting overwhelmed,
Yes.
you've got people like yourself in the marketing space or people like us who can help set up automations and process improvement
Yes.
tools or anything to try and bring things in to help you get to that level.
Yes, absolutely. And allocating like specific assistance for specific tasks. Like I have a generalist, as I said, but having those like AI assistants that are designed just to do this is a game changer as well to get those better answers for me. We're talking about perplexity of being able to switch between those different AI models. So I would take that same prompt and I would actually set up that same instruction and test it out on Gemini, Grok, Chat, Claude, Perplexity's standard model, and just to see the different answers that it gave me. And DeepSeek, that's the other one. And the different answers that it gave me was chalk and cheese. Like same instruction, but chalk and cheese
They all
answers.
have a different purpose and different focus
right.
on how they provide value. So doing that test gave you probably an indication of which one is good for that certain type of task.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a game changer for sure. So what do you reckon is going to happen over the next 6 months as far as AI? Like in 2025, what do you think as businesses, do you think we need to focus on?
So I was going to say I can't even tell you what I think is going to happen next week in the world of AI with how fast it's moving.
I know.
But as a business, it's definitely you need to spend some time to just play with the tools, whether it's just download ChatGPT even or whatever it may be on your phone, and just ask it really simple questions, and just that starts that. Oh wow, this can actually do something, and then you'll go down that path. You can even ask it, "What can I do with you?"
That's
Like,
right.
yeah, you can. There's a lot of paths there, but I think what's going to be important is starting to get those AI automations in the business for certain tasks, whether they're marketing activities or if it's just very something trivial like an email comes in and write a draft, or an inquiry has come in from your website and you connect it to one CRM, but then you can use Make or NAN or
Yeah.
Gumloop to push it into another platform
Yeah.
where it actually does it, and that saves 3 minutes of data entry. And if you're getting a lot of those every day over the course of a year, that's a lot of time saving. So I think it's really about understanding what's possible and then thinking about what tasks that people are doing, like data entry or copy and paste work. That's where
Yeah.
you can get the initial, that's the low hanging fruit that you can then tackle and try and get some improvements in. And
Yeah.
if you don't have the time to sit there and spend to learn how to do automations, I'd advise you not to do that if you're not technical either, because that's another job trying to learn how to do those things if you've never been in that space.
Exactly.
Find YouTube videos, find online templates, find that like NAN lets you download workflow templates or copy and paste them between systems. So if you can find a good resource, you can do that, or reach out and find people that can help set things up. But it's definitely trying to use the AI tools to do very specific tasks. And I also think don't think the agents will do everything. Because a lot of people, I think, are getting caught up in, oh, I'll just add an agent and it'll do everything, run my entire business. A lot of business is repetitive. Agents are not good at repetitive tasks. They're good at exploratory tasks where they don't know what the outcome is. A process is these 7 steps repeat every single time something happens. That's not an agent. That's just a general workflow that you can automate.
And do you think a lot of people confuse that with automation? That
Yes, definitely. So the agent they think is automation because then they don't have to write out the steps. They'll let the agent figure out the steps, but then there's no consistency. And then there's also a cost to the agent to do that, to figure that out. It may be cents or fractions of a cent to do that, but every time you need to run that or process it, it's going to take time and processing to do that. And then realistically, the amount of electricity that's used to just draft an email, I think it's enough to power a house for 2 days or something like that. Is how much we're using just to draft an email. So there's a lot of time and resource wastage in doing those very small things if you're using the wrong tools. So getting an agent to do something there should be a step-by-step process is like using a sledgehammer to put a screw into a piece of wood.
Yeah.
It's the wrong tool for the wrong outcome.
Yeah. And so how do you stay ahead of the tech game? And because you're working at a very high level, like
I'm doing exactly what you're doing, consuming as much content as possible. So I just finding YouTube videos. I've got newsletters that come in. I don't
Yeah.
read them unless the title
Yeah.
of the subject of the email is important. It like catches my eye because
Yeah.
I don't have the time to sit there and read it.
Yeah.
But it's generally, I've got on YouTube, I'm following Matt Wolf. There's another guy called Wes Roth. The two that come to mind that pop up a lot on my YouTube feed.
I'm
There's a
writing
few
him
others.
down. West Roth, is it?
Yeah, they
Okay.
just do like general roundups, and something
Oh,
new comes
yeah.
out, they'll do a 12-minute video on that thing.
Love that.
And then over the last month, I've started now sharing everything that I'm watching with the team.
Yeah.
So now they can just get the snippets. I've got a process set up where I watch a video.
Yep.
I'll send it to Telegram. I've got an AI bot that will read that message, summarize the transcript, and then give a report of that video. So the team just gets a very short summary of what I've watched rather than having to sit there and consume the whole thing. Because I'm not expecting them to do this, but as the owner of the business, I want to be on top of everything so then I can try and
Yeah.
drive the direction of where we're going and push the team to use the right things. Because we're delivering solutions, so we need to understand where we are, what's coming, and try and find the right thing and go in the right direction, if that makes sense.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But
is your, I was just going to ask, what do you think is your most underrated tool that you use?
really, I don't use many tools. I
Yeah.
I still do a lot of glue by hand. But I use, and we've been using NAN since before AI and everything. So we've been using that tool for automations for a long time. That I can do really quick workflows just to do like a couple steps, and that can work through it. But I also code in that,
Yeah,
not
right.
just using the nodes. So I can put custom code in to do other things because we can do that.
Yeah.
But really, I don't use any very specific tools in my day to day. We've built our own tool. So DevReady AI helps us plan and design products. So it's taking our process, and then I use Auto AI to help improve and assist us in that process. So I use that tool daily to do my main job. But then everything else is just what is the right platform that I'm using.
Yeah.
So we get a custom made tool to do the day to day.
Love it. What do you think for the average business owner, small business owner, what do you think, apart from ChatGPT, would be the most valuable tool that they could leverage?
I think it's any of the LLMs that do deep research. So doing the deep research where you can give it a detailed brief, come back in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I did one that ran for 2 hours last week.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen that before. I thought it crashed. Coming back with a report with sources that you can then go to, and you don't have to do that work. I think that's going to be the best thing for most business, because then it'll be research competitors, research domain names, research how should I price this product? What do people think about X or Y? And then the AI will go to Reddit and do all the Google searching and find all the appropriate things for you. And then you just end up with a report. So you're treating the deep research component as an assistant in your business, because you will do the same thing. You'd say, I want to find this out, come back to me with a report. But you don't have to wait 3 weeks now. It's just done on the day.
It's incredible, isn't it?
So I think that's the key thing.
It is, it's a game changer. I've got one of my clients that they're tech and they need your help. It's like they need your help desperately. And it's like, I just started working back with them, and they've got, all these different programs doing, this is doing CRM, this is doing POS, this is doing, their membership. And it's like, so to try and get good, clean data was hard. And so, right. But actually had to pull out all of their reports, what we could. And normally you'd have to sit there and try and cross-reference the data and spend weeks doing it. Now you can just literally feed it into deep research, like you said. And I, again, use Perplexity's deep research on it and just go make sense of all of that, bring in the data, find and it was absolutely game-changing. My mind still gets blown by that.
Oh, and my mind gets blown every week with what comes out.
Yeah.
So there's a new video model, I think it was released last week, which was hyper-realistic videos, and it'll take like almost the same length of the duration of the videos, how long it will take to generate. Or it'll be less than that time, which is amazing, because if you do rendering on your phone, like a CapCut video, you can see how long it takes to render a video based on the length of the video, and it's quite long, even on computer, unless you've got a really powerful, amazing computer, it's a long time. So to be able to render something in the same amount of time, and it's made from scratch, not an existing video that it's going through, is amazing. And then there's a new model released
What
by
tool was
Ali.
that?
Oh,
What tool was that?
I'll go through my logs off because I've recorded the video and I'll find it for
Okay,
you.
please do. I'd love to.
There was, I think it was really, no, you said it Tuesday. So Quen 3 is a new model
Oh, yep,
released by
Quen, yep.
Alibaba
Yep.
from China.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
runs apparently as, in benchmarks, it's as good as O3 from
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT, but it can run in 2 gig of RAM on the computer. So for those who don't know, these companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on data centers and graphics cards to process these large language models. Then DeepSeek was the first one that came out that would really run as an open source and was trained really quickly. Now it's like, if you can run it on your own computer and it's not going to blow it up because of how hard it's running,
Yeah.
this is a huge transformation again, because now you'll start getting into what we call like edge devices. So you'll have little devices that can be connected to a network or and not necessarily like your cameras that you run, your security cameras around your house or other sort of internet connected devices can run AI locally without going to the cloud now. And we could get to that point where they'll be able to run them and do that better. So you'll have an assistant with everything processed locally rather than going back to the server and coming back in probably not too long. So
Amazing.
there's a lot of changes going that way.
So what do you think is going to, like, if as a small, like for the small business owners or just corporate businesses in general, like what do you think is the thing that they need to be aware of the most if they don't want to get left behind? And I feel like there's a kind of a balance here of hearing two sides of like it's going to take our jobs, but also there's a resistance, especially in a lot of corporate businesses that I deal with. There's a resistance in using AI as well. So I kind of like, for me, AI's here, so I'm going to lean into it because I can't stop it. So I'm either going to embrace it or that. There's a saying of like, we won't lose our jobs to AI, but people using it will. What do you think about that response?
So I think if you're not using it, you'll be left behind. Eventually, you'll be phased out of whatever role there is, because there are companies like Duolingo and Shopify that are saying they're freezing hiring unless you can prove that AI cannot do that job. So large corporates have a governance problem where they're trying to protect their data. They don't want to have it leaked because that's their IP, their secret source effectively. So they're bringing in their own models, or they're starting to release like Copilot from Microsoft, because then that's got that enterprise tier and cachet behind it. At a smaller business, you've got two ways to take it. Do you cut people because you can do the same with less? Or do you keep the amount of people you have, empower them with AI, and do more with the same?
Yeah.
Aware of that model. Do more with the
Do
same.
more
not-
with it. That's what I
not the
think
same
as
with
well.
less.
Yeah.
Provide more
it's-
value, you'll grow a better
That's right.
business, you'll get better clients.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that's what, the product that I created, the blueprint, was essentially a content marketing strategy for businesses. And I was doing that manually for many years for people. Now I've built AI into it. So essentially that, working document, I call it a toolbox, a working document, becomes the brain for your AI to give you better answers and to help you do so much more that you weren't doing in your business before to market it and get visible. And I 100% agree. Like, if we have those tools, we can empower our team. And I deal with a lot of people that have VAs overseas, offshore. And so their limited knowledge is based on, this is how we've done it. So if I can empower their team to be able to do it better, it's a win-win for both the business owner and the VA, because they don't feel lost going, what am I doing, and all the things. And so for me, I'm not going to not use those team members. I'm just going to use them for more.
Yeah, more high-value tasks.
100%.
Well,
Yeah.
Deb, I'm just conscious of time. It's
Yes,
been a pleasure.
thank you
I'm
so
sure
much.
I'll get you back on and we can record another episode. We could have done 2 or 3 probably today.
I know.
Like you mentioned.
I'd
When
have to
what
get
you're
you on
talking
my
about, you can just keep
podcast.
going. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I'd love you to have on
if
my
anyone
podcast.
wants to reach out and find out more about you, how can they do that?
Absolutely. They can head to my website, debszabo.com, and I've got some free resources. So if they want to get my content planner off there at their AI assistant, they can go and get a free copy of that and set their own AI assistant up in there.
Awesome. As usual, we'll add all that to the show notes. Once again, Deb, thank you for joining me on the DevReady Podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.